Tubers. Got a turret here to polish. This is a freebie from a local guy who got interested during COVID to fixing stuff, and he had too much stuff to fix. So he gave this away. He said it has spark. I don't know about compression, but this is a Briggs Classic 158cc on a Bolens 22-inch. I've already straightened these wheels out. They were bowed in. What happened was the deck got bent. So what I did was I took the wheels off, put the bolt back in, and then with the bolt in, tightened down, I gave it Mr. Sledgehammer to bend it back. On both sides, and it's a lot better. And I lubed up the wheels and took off all the rust. Anyway, so what we got to do with this one now is I've got a bunch of these recoils. I'm just going to slap another recoil on it. So just to make it easier for me. So you don't need to see me taking off a recoil. You know how to do that. It's two 1/3/8 bolts in the front and 2 in the back on the sides here, and here. As I got it off, I vacuum cleaned in here with my shop vac. And here's my bin of recoil stuff and miscellaneous. So let's see if I have another recoil that'll fit this. Let me see. Nope. This is the original. See how there's a cutout there? This one doesn't have it, so that one won't fit. This is for one that has an internal governor. This has that governor that comes off the flywheel. So let's see. Do I have any other ones? This one would work, except it already needs a recoil, a restring. And I have this one again. It's a different style, so looks like I'm doing a restring. These are the only Briggs Classic ones I have. What it is this year. I've gotten a lot of bent blades and a lot of recoil problems. So glad I brought that the starter rope. So since I don't have another recoil that's working that'll fit this lawnmower, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. I'll put a link up here in the top of the screen to one where I did one on a Briggs Quantum. It's pretty much just the same thing, except how you keep the recoil from moving. Once instead of putting a screwdriver here, you stick it like up here somewhere. It's not as good, but it's all you can do. Before I go any further, I got the new pull cord here. I want to make sure this thing has spark. The guy said it did. So what I'm going to do is, since the carburetor needs some work, I'm going to spray some carb spray directly into the intake, and where the carburetor would have been, and let's see if this kicks over. Let's see. Oh, the governor thing is off. So let's try it again. Well, that proves that this thing has spark. This is that Bolens I was since I'm waiting on the some carburetor kit parts, I figured I'd go through and clean out the gas tank. In the meantime, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's all rusty, but then I turned it over. Look at that, a big hole. I don't know what is it with these metal tanks. Almost all of them, at least the ones I've seen, I get a hole. They have holes in them, or cracks, or they put these bolts in too tight and it stripped them out. So this is scrap metal. Fortunately, I have one more tank in my box here of stuff for Briggs Classic. However, it's really dirty inside, but as you can see, it doesn't have any holes. Well, rinsed it out with soap and water. It's a little bit better. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get some miscellaneous nuts and bolts, throw it in there with some cleaning vinegar, white vinegar. So, and leave it overnight. Hopefully that'll clean this out. I've had to do this one other time. Bolts and stuff is it's used to stir things up, agitate things. When you basically shake this, and I'll leave it sit overnight. This is it was a couple weeks ago. Diaphragms, 2 air filters, spark plug, and the carburetor spring that you see over there that go with this kind of carburetor setup. I ended up changing the carburetor to another one I had, and this gas tank well, this is a different one I had that I cleaned out. Now I have to rebuild this. So to rebuild these, you pretty much. I mean, sometimes I've used a used diaphragm, but generally don't want to do that. So what these go on is they only go on one way. And let me get you here. Oh, hey, it's my dog. What we do with these diaphragm kits thing, you put the diaphragm on first. It only can go one way, line up all the holes, followed by this gasket, and it also only goes on one way. Line up the holes, and this is going to be the hardest part of this job is going to be lining up the holes. So you can do it also where you put it on this part on the carburetor here. Well, put 2 of them in there. Once you get 2 of them in there, pretty much everything else will line up. So make sure your orientation is right. And then we can put this stack back down here. Okay.
Alternating sides, because if you put them down, tighten them down, it can pull the gasket to one side or the other. So you don't need to see me doing the rest of this.
Oh, I was on mute. I wasn't filming. What you do is you tighten down all these 5 perimeter bolts, first the snug, and then you alternate sides, snugging them down. And I stick the gas cap on and the breather here on, so makes it easier for me. Now let's go put it on the mower. Now we're gonna stick this, you get a Stick the linkage on. Again, I need more light. So only goes, so we need one linkage. Goes on like that. And we got to make sure our, in here, our O-ring and retainer are there, which they are. So now we can stick this on. And I don't know why that's not going on. There. So and followed by the 3/8 in front, which is right here. I'll loosen this up just a little bit. And then, so I can get this in. Oh. Now all we got to do is put gas in it and put the air filter in. Got some gas in it. Let's see if it starts. It's priming. Thinking the coil's bad. So let me see. This is the coil that was on it. Let me get my multimeter out in ohms. Let me see if I can. It's reading 1. That, wait. That shouldn't be that way. It should be like 4.8. So, I've got this other coil, looks about the same. And let me measure it the same way. Putting a probe there and one in the spark plug boot. It's a little hard to film. Let me see if I can get down on the ground here. Okay. You see my multimeter there. So, gonna put one here, and then Ah, this is always a pain in the butt. You see there? It's jumping around 4.6. Yeah. Ideally, it should be 4.8. So maybe that one's not a good one. Or it's a weak one. So you don't want to. This was the original here. I'm going to stick that over there. Let me look at one of these other ones that I can't. Yeah, I can't believe this whole box of coils just went bad. Let me see. Yeah, here's one that might work. So, one there, one in the spark plug hole, and I got 4.8. So this is a good coil. I'm gonna use really gap coil. You take a business card. This is just whatever I had, and you stick it there, and you put it there, and then you line up the bolts for it. You see. This coil may not be for this mower, so I gotta go get another one. I got this thing to run. It really seems like I changed the coil to a different coil. That didn't seem to do anything. So what I ended up doing, this is the old carb that was in here. I noticed there is 2 holes there. I changed it to a used one that I had that has 1 hole on it for the linkage. Don't know what's the difference, but this one seems to work. So maybe there's something's wrong with this carburetor. I don't know. Of course, there comes the gas outlet, wasn't it? So here you're gonna go. I can't run it too long because it's kind of late, but here we go. I've also checked the flywheel key, which look fine. Prime it. Probably going to change the primer on it. Gonna lower this down a little. There you go. Much better now. Don't know what was up, but probably a combination of a couple things, but I'm not touching it again. It works. Ain't broke, don't fix it. So I will put a mark or something on that carb that might be suspect. Later, all I gotta do is air filter, sharpen the blade, and change the oil. This will be the final look at this. This Bolens 22-inch I got for free. I've got about, I don't know, $5 or $6 into this. I got it for free. It didn't even, it was in parts in the bag. Carb gas tank air hat. So what I've done to it is I had to replace the gas tank because the original one had a hole in it. Clean out the gas tank, put a new pull cord in it, bend the wheels, bend the body for the wheels to be straight, change the oil. I put a different muffler on it. That one's a better looking one, despite what you may think. And sharpened the blade and put in a new air filter and diaphragm kit and new primer bulb. So this would not be possible without getting parts from online for a decent price. Here we go with the start. New primer.